Hello and welcome to the Citi Newsroom from our studios at number 5, Owula Hansen Lane at Tesano. My name is Frima Dunyame. Coming up. Managers of China Mall, ShopRite and Palace Mall arrested by a joint task force of police and officials of the Ghana Revenue Authority for defaulting in the payment of value-added tax.
We're going to ensure that the certified invoicing system, or call it the EVAT system, is done for all taxpayers. We want to ensure that all those who will be hooked onto this system comply.
Public Accounts Committee of Parliament worried about the Electricity Company of Ghana's indebtedness to the Bui Power Authority amounting to over $600 million.
Even though some corrections are being made, as at 31st December 2022, there's an outstanding debt of $614,373,274.36 USD.
Now, also coming up, the healthcare managers worried Ghana may not have enough healthcare practitioners to attend to the needs of patients as the exodus of healthcare workers keeps increasing.
If a midwife or a nurse is working and taking 2,400 a month, you have to eat from that money, you transport, you save. Then at the end of the day, you work 30 years, you go in retirement and there's nothing to show for it.
And later, Bank of Ghana increases monetary policy rate to 28%.
Under the circumstances, the committee decided to increase the policy rate by 100 basis points to 28%.
Now, in our first story, 5 managers of retail shops in Accra have been arrested by a joint task force of police and officials of the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, over defaulting in the payment of value-added tax, VAT. According to the authority, while some of these managers were issuing receipts with duplicate signatures, others were not issuing VAT receipts with electronic VAT system. The following report has more.
For the Ghana Revenue Authority, a number of taxpayers have failed to file their returns through the authority's certified invoicing system. It says some taxpayers are issuing invoices that have not been certified by the Commissioner General. These moves, according to the authority, negatively impact the revenue expected to be accrued for the state.
Now, what we've realized is that some of these taxpayers who have been hooked on, who are supposed to have been hooked on to the Commissioner General's invoicing system, are not fully complying with the directive. And what we saw was that some of them were issuing invoices outside the system. And as a result, these are infractions. These are, they have fractured the law. And we need to ensure that as we go forward, indicated in the 2023 budget, that we're going to ensure that the certified invoicing system, or call it the EVAT system, is done for all taxpayers. We want to ensure that all those who will be hooked onto this system comply.
However, as part of efforts to clamp down on these businesses, the authority embarked on a swoop on Monday, January 13. At the Spinters branches of the retail shops in Accra, 5 business managers were arrested for various infractions. The outlets are China Mall, Snida Mall, ShopRite, Second Cup Cafe and Palace Mall. The authority revealed that while some of these managers were issuing receipts with duplicate signatures, others were not issuing VAT receipts with the electronic VAT system.
We decided to visit today who have not done as expected. The China Mall, they were not issuing the EVAT invoice. Then Palace Mall, they are also issuing receipts with duplicate signature of the Commissioner General. And then we have Snyder Shopping Center. They are also issuing non-EVAT invoice. And then we have Fresh First Limited, that's Second Cap. They are also not issuing EVAT invoice. All these places are centered at Spintex. What we have done is to zone the taxpayers into areas. So today we decided to focus on Spintex. Tomorrow we'll be moving to another area until we are done with. We'll continue from area to area to reduce time and also save cost. So today we visited these places. And what we have done is to arrest managers of these companies.
These managers were, however, sent to the Customs Division of the GRA to take their statements for onward action. As at the time Citi News found this report, the business managers had not been billed yet. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of the Domestic Tax Revenue Division of the authority, Edward Appenting Jamra, says they will continually embark on such sweeps to ensure that companies do the needful.
So out of about 40 taxpayers that we are currently supposed to issue the Commissioner General satisfied invoice, we have about 8 of them who are not complying fully with the satisfied invoicing system. And out of the 8, we have various shops. Some of the shops are complying, some of the shops are not complying. But let me say that the sampling, the testing is ongoing. The few that we have done and the fraction that we have seen is what we want to enforce. But as we move on, we will continue. But we are not going to tell you when we will be visiting. Our officers are out there checking. So as and when it comes to our notice, we'll take the necessary action.
The Accounts Committee of Parliament is complaining about the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG's indebtedness to the Bui Power Authority amounting to over $600 million. The Auditor General's report revealed that the ECG failed to comply with its monthly payment plan, thereby resulting in the outstanding debt as at December 31, 2022. Now, speaking at the Public Accounts Committee sittings, the Chief Executive Officer of the Bui Power Authority, Kofi Jamesi, said efforts are being made to recover the money. There is more in the following report by Citi News' Ni Ayikwe Okai.
On Monday, 30th January 2023, the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament resumed its sittings and had before it the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation. And one of the key issues that came up was to deal with the government's indebtedness to the petroleum firm amounting to over $270 million, which the Auditor General in its report complained that could cripple the activities of the GNPC.
This amount were actually overdue. The auditors are saying that your inability to collect this money will affect your operations. So they have recommended to management to intensify your efforts in collecting this money. Have you been able to recover this amount of money from the GOG and then the GOG-related agencies?
We have put in efforts by writing through our ministry to Ministry of Finance to...
but Ministry of Finance is broke. Do you know that Ministry of Finance is broke?
Honorable Chair, it will be difficult from where I sit to say that Ministry of Finance is broke.
The Bui Power Authority under the Ministry of Energy also appeared before the Public Accounts Committee on Monday, and it was revealed that the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, is indebted to the Bui Power Authority to the tune of $600 million. This is due to the ECG's failure to comply with the monthly payment plan for power purchased.
We are taking steps to ensure that ECG pays us, but it's becoming very difficult. But I'm happy to say that many times the Minister of Energy does very well by asking Ministry of Finance to come to our aid sometimes. So we'll continue this negotiation, and with the support of our Minister, I think we'll be able to handle this matter. But it's really a problem.
Auditors, are they complying to your recommendation?
Honorable Chair, yes, this cost is a cost build-up every year. So even though some corrections are being made, as at 31st December 2022, there's an outstanding debt of 614,373,274.36 USD.
There were also concerns about the use of dollar as the mode of transacting business within the energy sector, which the Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, indicated that is also contributing to the huge debt crippling the energy sector. Reporting from Parliament, my name is Ni Ayukwe Okain for Citi News.
Now turning our attention to the Ashanti region, the Kumasi Mayor, Samuel Pine, who doubles as the board chairman of the Kumasi City Market, popularly known as the New Kejetia Market, is calling for calm among traders over the recent issues in relation to electricity metering in the facility. Now, following a series of misunderstandings between traders and the management of the facility, Mr. Pine tells Citi News after the local government minister visited the market, urgent steps are being taken to provide over 7,000 shops with individual meters. Our regional correspondent Fatih Aminu Ibrahim reports.
Traders have in recent years been complaining about what they describe as exorbitant electricity charges they pay because one single meter is serving the over 7,000 shops in the market. The local government and rural development minister, Damboche, visited the market and assured of resolving the issue. The leadership of the traders who sat in a stakeholder meeting with the local government minister has called on the ministry to go by its words to ensure they bring finality to the issue.
We as traders on our part can only hope that the minister will stand by his words, because it is the wish of every trader within Kumasi City Market to get his or her separate meter.
The president of the Federation of Kumasi Traders, Nana Akwesi Prempeh, added that they want authorities to award the contract of procuring the meters to the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, so that they can always go to the company anytime the meters develop faults.
With respect to the procurement, the precision of the traders, and that has been the cause that we have been championing over the years, that based on the assurance of the regional manager of Electricity Company of Ghana, we had hoped that the minister, though we cannot force it on him, but it is the wish of the traders that ECG will procure the meters for the traders.
Speaking to Citi News, the Kumasi Mayor, Samuel Pine, says plans are far advanced to ensure the contract is awarded for the meters to be procured.
It came to my attention, but I doubt the authenticity of it, that people said they were going to leave the place because of the meters. But the assurance is that they should keep their cool. The processes are almost over, and that they are going to have the individual meters, especially when we have full payment of our debts.
The mayor also called on the traders to remain calm as efforts are being put in place to bring finality to the issue.
As we spoke on the other time, we finished with almost done with the tender process, and we were about to meet last week as a board to accept the report of the technical committee. But the local government minister was in town and was necessary to meet with all the other stakeholders, especially the traders who suggested that they wanted ECG to give them the meters, even though ECG did not apply. So everything's on course. If I'm not being that suggestion from the traders, last week, Wednesday, we would have resolved that matter and have gotten somebody who will be ready to go and fix the individual meters for the shops. So we are on course.
For now, the main concern of these traders is for each shop
to be provided with individual meters so that the matter will be resolved once and for all. For Sinis, Fati Amin Ibrahim, New KJTR Markets, Kumasi.
Now moving to the seat of government, President Akufo-Addo is asking Ghanaians to have patience with his administration as government embarks on a domestic debt restructuring program. Nana Akufo-Addo says the program will help the country achieve the needed financial stability for an IMF bailout. The president made the appeal during a meeting at the Jubilee House with some chiefs from the Western region.
At a meeting with the Western Regional House of Chiefs at the Jubilee House, President Akufo-Addo says the domestic debt exchange program is aimed at restructuring the country's debt as part of conditions to meet an IMF balance of payment support. The debt exchange program has been met with stiff opposition, with many rejecting, especially bondholders. They accused government of worsening their plight if the program goes through. But President Akufo-Addo says the program will help the country in the long run.
Since Sikasam Baby in the year into a call, the National Monetary Funds here to more and me a 2 Sikasam. And in Nana Mekaya day. Now, she said, you know, and a friend staff level agreement, which is the first step towards a full agreement with the IMF. No, it's just as I see a bombarding, one of the English for the restructuring of our debt, both domestic and external. And I don't know say, Yamani Buoha, as I see a bombarding, so that we can have a more secure set of funding for the future. Projects, capital projects, Ecoso Ghana there. Equembiaso, as I say, Yeshada Yeho, Yeshema. Nina to Koso, Shasiaya, to me Twaso. There will be some temporary delays whilst we're making the agreement with the IMF.
The Mahine of the Insem traditional area and leader of the delegation, Awulai Ejiefi II, wants government to explain to Ghanaians what the whole debt exchange program is about.
Inti Yehuse, Yana Kasakasa. Yaba adwen papa wonu mpanimfo efa no me nuanom say sabri ebeye yi a ke ebe kai wo say wo technical men panimfo a wo mo asua sa adwumadi mu yie anka bri wo mu a kamogya wo mo kwan na wo mo aba region no mu regions no na sika bia anasem bia ehia say if say ya tese IMF say ya ntoto ye ne ma yie wo fie ansa na wo mboboa yen a wo mo aboa yen we kire say ye man no asa say yen so ye te ase na ye hu ni say enti ase no enya nkofo mpapa ya no hu nti o man pani minu ya no me say me mfa nto ani me say be ye yi a.
Meanwhile, the Ghana individual bondholders say they are willing to assist the government in further considering the proposed fiscal adjustments and recommendations captured in the Joint Technical Committee. The government, through the Finance Ministry, on January 18, set up a technical committee to address concerns raised by the Individual Bondholders Forum on the Domestic Debt Exchange Program. Now, as the deadline for the Domestic Debt Exchange DDE program expires on Tuesday, January 31, 2023, the group believes that should government adopt the recommendations in the committee's report, it could save in excess of 83 billion cedis. Now, in a statement issued by the group, they posit the move will assist the government to reduce its DDE indebtedness of about 138 billion cedis. Now, still moving on, the Monetary Policy Committee, MPC of the Bank of Ghana, BOG, has increased the monetary policy rate by 100 basis points to 28%. The prime rate, which is of interest to businesses, signals the rate at which the central bank will lend to commercial banks. It also subsequently influences average lending rates on loans to individuals and businesses. There is more in the following report.
After assessing the performance of the economy, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana at its 110th press conference increased the policy rate by 100 basis points to 28%. The increase of the policy rate, which is of keen interest to businesses as it ultimately influences average lending rates on loans, is in line with the projection of some economists who spoke to Citi News ahead of the announcement. Since November 2021, the central bank has increased the policy rate by some 1,350 basis points. Addressing the media during a press briefing, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, cited downside risk to inflation and exchange rate depreciation as the major reason.
The concerns being expressed in the public domain relating to high government expenditures have been addressed in the SLA and reflected in the 2023 budget. The SLA is also contingent on the domestic debt exchange program and external debt restructuring, which, when concluded and the necessary financial commitments obtained, would allow the presentation of the SLA to the IMF board. The MPC believes that these measures will help restore fiscal and debt sustainability and bring down inflation, as well as help stabilize the currency. In the interim, the MPC sees the need to remain vigilant and moderate liquidity in the system to underpin the macroeconomic adjustments taking place to drive inflation on a downward path. Under the circumstances, the committee decided to increase the policy rate by 100 basis points to 28%.
These risks have been driven by fiscal imbalances. Reacting to the increase, economist Dr. Patrick Esuming said the increase was expected.
There are a few other developments that are likely to put further pressure on the inflation. We can talk about the utility bills that are going to go up. And then you notice that fuel prices have gone up at the last window and it's likely to go up again. And the Citi depreciation, well, it's still continuing. So when you put all of these together, you get a sense that additional price pressures are expected. The economy might see further shocks, and if there are any other shocks, it's difficult to predict what will happen. But it's expected that, as it seems that we are nearing the end of the domestic debt exchange program, if we start doing the fiscal consolidation under the IMF program, that in the medium term going forward, that will definitely help in reining in the inflation. But we shouldn't expect that inflation will come down to normal levels.
Though the African Continental Free Trade Area was birthed about 3 years ago, it's obvious that more needs to be done for its impact to be felt across the continent. For Citi News, I am Nete Ajaho.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom. I'm Frema Edunyame. Still to come. Healthcare managers worried Ghana may not have enough healthcare practitioners to attend to the needs of patients as the exodus of healthcare workers keeps increasing. We'll be right back with the details. Please stay.
Is aware that globally, 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. That's why by giving her Pepsodent, you're not only protecting her teeth, but also helping her grow up and thrive at every stage of her life with a healthy and confident smile, so she can succeed and achieve all of her dreams. Because every smile matters.
Finally, anyone can become a house owner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You Go Flip, a real estate gaming platform, that allows you to play and stand a chance of winning a house or cash or consolidated prizes, such as savings towards a house. Simple and easy to play. Visit www.ugoflip.com. Buy a ticket to enter the game. Wait for the end of the game to enjoy the win. Anyone can win. Flip it or own it. Ugoflip. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Play responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming can be addictive.
Thanks for staying. The government of Ghana has been working hard to provide enough healthcare facilities across the country. The Agenda 111 is one of such audacious projects aimed at building 111 hospitals across the country. Though saddled with challenges, the government says it is resolute to see to its realization. But healthcare managers are worried Ghana may not have enough healthcare practitioners to attend to the needs of patients as the exodus of healthcare workers keeps increasing. Citi News' Caleb Kuda has more in part one of a three-part feature focused on the exodus of healthcare workers from Ghana.
My mom was a TBA. TBA means a traditional birth attendant. So growing up, she will conduct deliveries in the house. So anytime she's conducting deliveries, you see me around her trying to help. So I'm sure that is where the inspiration came from.
Hardly a day goes by without Sefako, not her real name, thinking of hanging her uniform and leaving the shores of Ghana. She's a midwife in one of the best tertiary hospitals in Ghana with the most sophisticated equipment. But the young professional who saw her mother serve as a traditional birth attendant believes working in Ghana is not worth it.
Basically, I work like 14 or 15 days in a month. And the place is awesome. Work is okay, but like I said, the hassle is not worth the pay. 8-9 months into the work, I wasn't so happy because salaries delayed, and I had to manage my way throughout. Salary-wise, nursing in Ghana is a mystery. Currently, after every deductions, I think I get like 2,400 a month. Rent to take your salary, transportation, food. So basically the 2,400, and it's the same money I'm using to pay my fees.
For Sefako, it's not only about the money, it's something inside, and it's so strong.
It's not all about money, but at least change of environment, opportunities are outside the countries, a lot of them. So it's not just about the money, it's about at least the comfort, change of environment, diversity in culture. I think those few will do for me. Ghana here, people have a very bad perception about nurses. One is that nurses are prostitutes. Two, they are rude to their patient. But I think at the end of the day, we try as much as possible to help them. Last year, November, we had a team from UK, Bridge. They came to train us on a lot of midwifery staffs.
When you compare the people who come to train you to the people here, tell me about it.
So I realized that we are not proactive as nurses, midwives, doctors, like the health sector in general, we are not proactive. It's more of like try and error. But when you listen to them through their presentation, you realize that when Bridge from UK, you realize that they are nurses, midwives, doctors, everybody is proactive.
For a single young lady without a family, she believes now is the time to make the decision, and she's saving towards it.
with an estimation of say 30,000, because I know when you travel outside the country, the money used to register for your OET or say IELTS they'll reimburse. Some agencies or hospital will try and pay for your plane tickets and maybe visa, so it depends. It's like 50% will be reimbursed.
So how much have you saved so far?
Well, just started saving last month. So last month I decided to save 1,007.
If you can save 1,000 a month, you have a lot of money.
No. Currently, I have a colleague. She may be leaving the country maybe like next month. So because of BSc midwifery, that's where she stayed a bit longer. She finished her BSc this December, and she'll be leaving very soon to USA. She's a midwife. She's going to pursue midwifery there. And so it looks like day in, day out, nurses, midwives, doctors are leaving the country, and the government sees nothing wrong with it, because if a midwife or a nurse is working and taking 2,400 a month, you have to eat from that money, you transport, you save. Then at the end of the day, you work 30 years, you go in retirement, and there is nothing to show for it.
Unlike Sefako, Erefua, again not a real name, has a family. And for a master's degree holder, her take-home is less than 2,500 Ghana cedis a month. But she will not leave Ghana for anything. What's keeping her?
The smiles I put on the faces of my clients is what matters to me most. Yeah, I want to be here. I've got family. So for me, I don't know, basically, but lots of people want the money, conditions of service. But for me, I don't think I'll move by it. I've got kids. 3 kids, 3 under 6, and a spouse is working as well. So for me, seeing my kids that I'm able to send them to school every morning, I'm able to pick them up after school, that's fulfilling for me. I don't like the stress. I mean, 12-hour shift, etc. I don't think so. It's not for everybody. I don't think I'm one of those who really want to go desperately.
Would you say it's because you're not ambitious?
No, that's not being ambitious. I've got my master's degree in healthcare management. I've done occupational health. So if it's ambition, yes, but I don't think those going are going because they're ambitious.
That's what they say. They want more. They want fulfillment. They want to work in a better condition, and they want to make more money for what it's worth.
They want to make more money. Yes, I mean, everybody likes money, but I think I'm just content. I mean, I'm not really a die-hard fan of going to work outside. I don't think I can stand the stress. If I'm actually here because of the pay, then I'll be a liar. But I chose my family.
Among the more than 30 healthcare workers I sampled, Erefua is the only one to say an outright no to leaving Ghana. Even then, she won't hesitate to encourage others to leave if they asked for her opinion.
People have priorities. Most of them think it's greener pastures, it's better out there than here. Of course, you have the money, you have the services. Even in terms of health, if you're a health professional here and then you are sick, I don't think they'll pay for everything. You practically have to pay for it yourself.
Do you have insurance as health practitioner?
Definitely not. We do not. We don't have.
So what's your
National
safety net?
Insurance. It's the Ghana Health, though. Well, we live by the grace. Grace is keeping us, honestly.
Is the grass always greener outside? Well, stories like this one, shared on the Citi Breakfast Show some months ago, convinces many that even if it wasn't exactly as green, they'd rather prefer that.
Per the little calculations and stuff that I've done, I would be able to save more than £500 in a month.
Hey.
And comparing £500 to Ghana cedis, you are hitting around 4,500, let's say 5,000 a month.
The Ghana Medical Association is concerned about the massive exodus of healthcare workers and its implications for healthcare in Ghana. Dr. Frank Srebo is its president, and he believes healthcare workers in Ghana have been shortchanged for too long.
This is a trend that we should be concerned about. I finished school way back in 2001, and that is about almost 22 years ago. So that is how long I've been practicing medicine. And we were class of 49. Before we could say Jack, those of us left in this country were just about 15. Okay, so it tells you we didn't even lose just half. We lost more than half of the class to the United States and then, of course, the UK. And so if you take the numbers now, it's even worse than that. So we are losing more than 60% of our doctors that we are training to this outside world. And the nurses are even worse. They are going more than the doctors. And what is happening is that COVID has opened up. A lot of health workers became apathetic. They left because of COVID and the kind of trauma that they had to face, the number of deaths. And so there are avenues for employment available in the United States and then, of course, in the United Kingdom. If you look at my salary as a medical officer, and this is way back in somewhere 2002, 2003, and you look at it in terms of dollar indexing, you come to realize that I was better paid then than now. You getting it? So if I was better paid in 2003, better than 2022, it tells you that there is a genuine problem that needs to be resolved.
Something must be done to reverse the trend.
That everybody is in dire straits. We all need to be taken care of. Teachers are very important. The other workers are so important. But the issue with the health sector is quite peculiar. It borders on ourselves, our lives. And I believe that it's important we look at the kind of job that people do. That is why we do job evaluation, in actual fact. And it is also the reason why even certain jobs are classified as essential, while others doesn't mean that those ones are not essential, but that is exactly what it means. So the health sector, originally, I can tell you, there was a time that even the health sector was on a different pay system compared to the other public sector workers. We're on health service salary structure 1 and 2. The doctors were on 1, the other health professionals were on 2. So it tells you that, and all the other workers were on the Ghana Universal, I think, salary structure also. So it tells you that somebody saw the need for that differentiation to happen. Now, as we speak, we are all lumped onto the single spine pay policy. It makes it difficult for you to make adjustments to anything that borders on peculiar areas that you want to even improve on. As we speak, the government is engaged in construction of some facilities across the country. I think it's about 111. Yes. And you will need human beings to man those facilities. And it's a lot of investment. There is even the fear that those facilities will finish and there will be no human beings to man them. They will become museums.
The reality of the exodus of healthcare workers is not lost on the Ministry of Health. Isaac Ofeban speaks for the ministry.
At large, they are not migrating to maybe Egypt. They are not migrating to Cameroon. They are not migrating to, let's say, Sierra Leone or Ivory Coast. They are migrating to America and then UK. What it means is that the market competitive, that is what they are paid there, is far, far, far above what Ghana is paying, which is not the fault of anybody. The health sector workers have an advantage over demand. They have serious advantage over demand. We have a number of teachers. Why is that UK is not, they don't go out to UK and they don't go out to America? We have a number of agric officers. We have a number of different kind of professions. But because this is highly demanding, health issues are becoming highly demanding. And so because they are becoming highly demanding, everybody is pushing out. So if I am here and I go out to UK and maybe I'm paid $2,000 here in Ghana, I go to the UK and I'm paying maybe $2,000, you can look at the difference. So I would rather risk and go there, but not because Ghana is not doing anything for Ghanaian nurses.
In December last year, the Health Minister, Kwekwajuman Menu, announced a Ghana-UK nurse deal to recruit nurses from Ghana to the UK for some financial benefits and later knowledge transfer upon return. Chief Executive of the International Council of Nurses, Howard Cotton, is reported in the UK-based Nursing Times to have raised concerns over the deal, describing Ghana as a red list country due to its lower density of nurses. With a nursing population of 44,000 compared to the UK's more than 500,000, Ghana needs every single nurse it trains. But Mr. Ofeba believes the move by government would inure to the benefit of Ghana, as there is a huge backlog of nurses waiting to be given financial clearance.
As I speak to you, we have a number of them in the house. And that is why he's pushing that, okay, if we have a number of them, instead of the nurses going on their own, let's regulate it. They go out without we knowing. So now we are going to regulate. You want to go where? Where do you want to go? You are going to the UK. We are taking you there. We give you 5 years term. We give you 3 years term. When you are done, we bring you back. So at the end of the day, if government succeeded in doing this kind of cohort movement, we will be able to have a number of them coming in as they finish with their services outside the country. Then they come in to come and augment into our skill gap and all those things. So that is one of the policies that the government is putting in place. The other thing is for government to make sure that the Honorable Minister is ensuring that we get clearance to be able to recruit the batches of nurses that are already in the house.
We are begging him, Nana. We are begging him. He should do something about it. Some of us, we don't know where to go. Please, and please, we are begging you. Abba, 3 years in the house. What to put in the pot and eat is difficult.
It doesn't look like we are Ghanaians. It doesn't look like we are the future.
3 years.
3 years in the house, no job. When it was publicly announced by the government officials that they recruited 2019 cadre of nurses, most of the private entities were engaging, getting something to feed the family and ourselves. They laid that off. So as we are here, we are unemployed.
And when they also come, by the time Agenda 111 will be completed, I believe that we will still have a number of nurses to take care of those places.
Ghanaian healthcare professionals are demanding better wages and better conditions of service. In the absence of these, many of them are relocating. But the government says it's doing its best to retain some of our professionals. Even then, it says that for those who are migrating, it has a strategy in plan to ensure they return to contribute their quota. For Citi News, I am Caleb Kuda.
Now, several months after students of Islamic SHS in Kumasi protested over the absence of speed ramps in front of their school, which they blamed for accidents being experienced in the area, the speed ramps are yet to be erected. Authorities of the school have thus been left disappointed over the failure of the relevant authorities to, as a matter of urgency, address the issue. Citi News' Bureau Chief for the Middle Belt, Edward Okonmafo, reports.
In June 2022, Islamic Senior High School dominated headlines after the students protested over the absence of speed ramps in front of their school. They complained that, as a result of the situation, many accidents were being recorded over there. The students, in the process of having their protest, clashed with the police, in which the police fired tear gas, which led to the hospitalization of students. After the Parliamentary Select Committee on Defense and Interior visited the school and conducted its investigations, it recommended that speed ramps should be erected as early as possible. The committee also recommended that the Ashanti Regional Urban Roads Director should be dismissed over the incident. Several months on, the speed ramps are yet to be constructed. What has so far been done is the road markings, which allows pedestrians to cross right in front of the school. But some regular users of the road are not satisfied. The authorities in the school are also not happy with the development following the delay in constructing the speed ramps. The chairman of the school's board tells Citi News they have now been assured that the speed ramps will be constructed latest by the first quarter of the year.
We have received a letter
indicating that contract has been awarded. And this time round, it's not only Islamic Senior High School, because Islamic Senior High School incident triggered a comprehensive assessment of similar risk on the road from Abreport Junction to Kumasi Girls Senior High School. And they identified 5 more of those life-threatening, situations on that stretch of the road.
Sources at the Ashanti Regional Urban Road say no official records show that indeed accidents have occurred at that particular spot in the past. The source also disclosed that officials from the urban roads were not invited to explain why speed ramps have not been erected at that particular place. It is on the back of this that Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osemensa and some media engagements dismissed the claims that accidents had been happening over there.
That particular incident, let me tell you, I blame the teacher who came out to say that vehicles had been knocking down students. It's a lie. It's a palpable lie. Investigations that was conducted in all hospitals around the area, in all police stations around the area 2 years back, never alluded to that. It's true, some people have been knocked down by vehicles along that stretch, but none, and I say none, was a student.
The school's authorities have, however, refuted such claims.
I will make reference to 2 cases, which is the most recent. The one that involved the geography madam's car, Madam Francisca Fianco, is the one that triggered, the incident. But before that incident, a student was also knocked down right in front of the school gate. Okay. He's alive. He's in 3rd year. He's in business class 2, B2. So I found it somehow misleading to hear from the regional minister's report in the dailies saying that there was no incident like that students have been knocked down and all of that. No.
Citi News checks at the Ashanti Regional Urban Roads have confirmed that indeed work will soon commence on a speed ramp in front of Islamic SHS and other schools on the stretch through to Kumasi Girls SHS, latest by the first quarter of this year.
Several months after students demonstrated over the situation and they called on authorities to ensure that speed ramps are provided over here, that has still not been done. A committee was set to look into it. They made a number of recommendations, but all those ones have not been implemented over here. It is a major worry for the students and authorities of the school. For Citi News, Edward Upon Malfo, Islamic SHS, Kumasi.
This is the Citi Newsroom, still to come. Fire destroys properties worth thousands of Ghana cedis at Medina Redco Flats in Accra on Monday. We'll be back shortly. Please stay.
It's Citi on the go. You don't have to miss any of your favorite television and radio shows on Citi TV and Citi FM. Enjoy thrilling content from your world of great television and relevant radio at your convenience. Subscribe to CitiTube on YouTube. Turn on your notification button and receive prompts on our live streaming sessions and new content uploads. For easy access to the CitiTube page, scan the barcode on your screens. Subscribe to the CitiTube page and voila! Unlimited content awaits you. Don't forget to subscribe to CityTube for amazing content from Citi TV and Citi FM.
Hello again. Shops, kiosks and other properties have been razed by fire that occurred at Medina Redco Flats in Accra. Now, according to eyewitnesses, the incident occurred around 1 p.m. on Monday after firefighters noticed the incident during a routine check. It is unclear what may have caused the inferno as yet, but residents are attributing the incident to a resident who left their water heater on. There is more in this report.
At the time the news team got to the scene, smoke was still billowing from the debris of structures that had been affected by the inferno. Victims of the incident were also captured trying to salvage the leftovers of their properties. The fire, which had swept through makeshift homes and kiosks of traders according to eyewitnesses, lasted for about 4 hours. Evidently, owners of businesses and homes were saddened by the event. Speaking to Citi News, some of the victims lamented the loss of properties worth hundreds of Ghana cedis.
We saw the fire starting from that back there, so we thought that the fire won't come here. At the time we see everything, all the bet machines, everything. I packed everything inside this place. So the time my sister helped me, we thought the fire would not come. By the time we see the fire is coming and the smoke was too much, so we couldn't stand it. So we ran away. Almost 1 billion. More than 1 billion? Yeah, almost 1 billion, because the game, the system unit, and the other ones, everything. I didn't get anything.
Well, just this afternoon, I think it was around 12:30 p.m. and the fire started from the far end. It was just exploding, and that's how come this thing got bent. And I think everything in the shop got bent. As we tried to remove some of the things, but most of them are damaged. I need to pay my creditors. So that's my headache right now. So if you can really come in and help me, I'll be so much grateful.
The fire service is also worried about the access routes into communities. The service, therefore, wants conscious efforts to be made by contractors in the establishment of communities.
Even after the fire, even accessibility for you is difficult. So you can imagine when the fire had started. Even after the whole place is bare, you can realize that it's difficult for you to gain accessibility. So we always tell people that do not block way. We had a lot of obstructions from the people around. We had to call in for police assistance to be able to put the people under control for our men to work. So accessibility or free will to perform our duties was a major problem, and we always encourage people that if they could afford the fire, we wouldn't have come in. So once our men are in, they should leave our men to do what they do best, that's fighting the fire.
Meanwhile, the fire service has launched investigations to ascertain the cause of the fire.
And that's how we wrap up. This has been the Citi Newsroom. Don't forget that our website, citinewsroom.com, has more news updates. Subscribe to CityTube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV. You can also watch Citi TV on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182. I'm Frime Dinyami. Thanks for watching.
My name is Gina, and this salon is where I work.
Good morning. Hey, morning. Dresses. You've already met your new colleague, have you?
Who brought this here? He fell from the sky.
I'm so glad there's a man amongst you. You ladies gossip too much.
Hey, girls. Today, Alam came in with a hot, sexy guy. And they were doing lobby.
Hey, did Madam think men don't gossip?
The grapevine lands on my lap.
I've noticed a massive decline in our daily proceeds.
I suggest we fast and pray.
The spirit, hey, Baga.